All right, so we had a quick question about exactly how to build a dictionary in Dynamo and what that does. So I kind of think of a dictionary as a lookup tool. It really helps with being able to figure out some stuff that we need. So you're relating one piece of data to another. That's kind of the way to think about it. So we're basically going to make something that looks kind of like this. This is a room dictionary that I made previously that I used for something else. So in our case, what we'll do is we'll do an example of a dictionary for some furniture in my regular old template. So first thing we'll do is we'll double click for a code block, and we'll type in something like furniture dictionary, and we'll do equals, and we'll do two curly braces. This is defining the dictionary to be able to recall it as well. So what we could do is we need to define what this dictionary is exactly. So we'll hit enter and we'll do furniture dictionary. And what are we looking up, or what are we using to look up the items within that dictionary? So in our case, we'll just type in size because that's what we'll look it up by. And then we'll just set that to what it's equal to, and that'll be families. So families and size. So what we could do is I need to get all of my element types of furniture families. So what we could do is family type, family symbol. That'll probably work. And we'll do all elements of type. Then we would collect all this stuff. So now I have all my families loaded in my model. So what I'll do in this case is we'll do a filter by category, or is of category, from clockwork. The category that we'll look for is furniture in my case. Cool. Now we have a whole bunch of true and false values. We have a couple true there at the end. So now we can do a filter by Boolean mask. Sweet. And if I put a watch node, we should see that I have all those families selected. So I have 4 different types in this model currently. It's a desk family, just as a sample. So those are the families I'm going to use. So how am I going to look those up exactly? I want to look them up by their size. So what we could do is specify pretty much any criteria we want. So in our case, I'll get the name, and then we'll only look at the first 2 numbers for now. So we'll do, I think we'll do substring. So we're getting the name, and now I need to specify how much of that name I want to read. And I only want to read the first 2 characters, really. So now I'm doing that. So this is what I will look up those families by. So if we have one family that we want to relate to another, like if I had another component family that were named similar, like a door, and I wanted to place this component within it, I could look them up relating that data, which is pretty cool. So what we'll do is that'll be our size that we're looking up with. So now we have that dictionary defined. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to actually look up the item within the dictionary. And that is actually done by just using the key. Dictionary is kind of magic in a way to where it allows us to do that. So if I do another code block, and I'll just type in furniture dictionary, and then I type in what my key is. So in our case, it'd be size. You can literally type whatever you want right there, though. I need to tell it what the dictionary is and what I want to look it up by. So in our case, this is currently a string, so I would have to convert this to a string. So I'll just put quotes. Now, if I type that in, this node, this code block, is now looking up that corresponding family in the dictionary by this key. If I were to type in a key that doesn't exist, like 30, it'll just return null because I don't have a value defined for that. But if I type in 50, it'll look up the other one as well. So the dictionary is a really cool way to store this data, to be able to look it up. That way we can recall it. If we were to do something like a range, so I'll do 10 to 80 at a step of 1. convert that to a string, and tie this in, it's going to replace null for all of them that don't exist, but each time it hits one that does exist, it'll pop up. So you can start to relate these families in that way. Like, for instance, if I had a whole list of families, I can get their name and break them down as well and be able to look up the corresponding family type within the dictionary. So if that kind of explains dictionaries just a little bit at least. I really like using these for stuff like relating rooms to data as well. So I hope that helps. Thanks.